Hello again, everybody. Henry Boxer, the technical trader. It's Tuesday, March the 17th, St. Patty's Day, and the markets had a interesting session, first coming down and then rallying back, closing mixed. But a lot of our stocks did well. The biotechs are just going bonkers, and frankly, folks, it worries me. I looked at charts of the stocks of the semiconductors and internet stocks back in 2000. They look just like the biotechs. I don't know, man, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know when this is going to end, but it's not going to end pretty. Let's start off with some of the stocks that are acting well. ANET, a swing trade, and several of the stocks you're going to see tonight are swing trades. ANET, which popped and pulled back, and I gave you a buy on it, has moved very nicely from 67 and change to 74 and change for a little quick swing trade. My next target is 78 and then 81.5. We may even see the stock fill the gap and get up to as much as 83, something like that. That's my next target. 80, let's just say high 70s and low 80s. Looking good, nice pattern, nice V bottom and right-handed extended V, moving above the moving averages that are now crossed over. It looks good. BSFT. Now, that occurred with the moving averages crossing over here, and then the stock went into a multi-month consolidation. We bought the breakout. It ran up nicely and wedged, and then today it reached 34.45. The stock looks like, to me, it's going to be $37 stock, and that's my swing trade target, which also coincides with the tops back in 2013. Now, on a longer-term basis, you can see this big, major three-year consolidation kind of coiling type pattern. Seems to be breaking out. If it gets over 37, I can see 42, maybe 45 on the stock, and we'll have to play it by ear at that point. 42, 44. CEMP is really rocking. The stock, which we first discovered back at, around Christmas time, November, Thanksgiving time, when it was in the 12-14 range, has now reached 40 plus today. 40.85 was the high, up 86 cents or 2%, but it continues to channel up in a very tight, orderly advance and not getting too far ahead of itself. Now today was only up, as I said, 2%, but it sure looks like to me when if and when it does blow off like ESPR did today, we could see this stock near 50. CSIQ, well, when it broke out here and pulled back, we gave you a swing trade on it. That worked out well as it went from about 26 to 35.50 the other day. It pulled back, held support, and it's snapping right back here, looking for 39, maybe 38, 39 in this move up. Very strong pattern. Solars are waking up here. ESPR, well, there's the king of the day. 99.60 up 22.50. 29%, 1,250% more volume than average. A big day for that stock. But as you can see on the long-term chart, spiking up to the top of the channel. Now, it may extend with, I saw a $130 target on today. I wouldn't put it past it to do that. But at the same time, it's extended, to say the least. Having gone from 58.80 just as recently as 2 weeks ago to today's high over 100. So, you know, when you see that kind of a move, you got to be suspect. We don't get a pullback, and sure enough, at the end of the trade, in after hours trading, the stock announced a secondary. The stock is off 3 or 4 points. So we'll see if that's the beginning of a pullback. EYES. Well, we've been watching the stock ever since the big run up. It was a nice trade for us in here, but it had a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way move, got the resistance, and backed all the way down and did about a 50% retrace. Today it looked like it may have reversed, but one day there's not a reversal make, and the volume wasn't strong enough. So keep your eye on this one. Let's at least start to take out some prior highs. Notice that for 9 days in a row, it's made lower highs. As soon as I see, for example, yesterday's high at 14.29, when that's taken out, if it's taken out, could lead to a move towards 16 and then 19. But for now, keep close tabs on it. FEYE, has this consolidation flag developed to a point where it's enough? It sure looks like the base and the breakout, which is a great swing trade for us here, is now turned into a consolidation and a bullish one. This can be played here with a stop under, say, 40 and a quarter or half, because if it continues to drift down, we can see that stock in the high 30s. I don't want that. But if it holds this level, which is near a trendline bottom, and runs, we can see that stock in the low to mid 50s. And at this point, if we see any kind of upside over, say, 43.5 tomorrow, I may put out a swing on it. It looks pretty good, and it looks like a setup. JetBlue, one of my 2-3 favorite airlines, along with LUV and American Airlines. This stock has done very, very well, having gone from the October low near 10, today's high over 19. Looking at the long-term pattern, the stock has done very, very well for the last several years when it was a $5 stock. It's now almost 4 times that. The near-term target tells me that the stock could be 20.5 or so. Secondary target 23.5. Well, NBLY, our swing trade continues to act incredible as it's now up 10, 11 days in a row, and taking out 3 layers of resistance and a declining tops line. At this point, it may have a tougher time getting through 44.5, this zone up here to 45.5. You can get through that, fine, but we may get a pullback. If we do, look for a nice setup for more upside, eventually a target near 50. NBIX, Neurocrine Bioscience, is up only 62 cents, but I wanted to show you the pattern because it continues to do very, very well. And right now, appears to be in a mode where if it gets any further than where it is now, it can start to spike up. The top of the channel calls for a run up towards the high 40s. OREX seems to have snapped back today, 55 cents or 8%, 7 million traded. More importantly, if you're looking at the pattern in here, it looks to me like the top of the channel could be tried around 10 plus. Stay tuned. PAYC finally made a little bit of a move, was up to 1.3347 and backed off 80 cents, still was up 72 cents, but closed mid-range in terms of the intraday pattern today. 2.25% gain, which isn't much, but I'm showing it to you because it may be beginning to emerge, and if it does, we could see this get into the 37-38 range, my next target. Sigma Design's new swing is extending. Today it closed at 809 after reaching 822, up 2.8%. Volume continues strong. The 2 biggest volume days since January were the last 2 days, so maybe we see an extension. And what I'm going to be looking for at this point is something like this. This looks like a channel bottom. So I'm going to draw a parallel line from where I think it could go, and that gives me a target up around 10, 10.5. That's my next target for Sigma. SRNE, Sorrento, holding this platform very nicely. Yesterday's reversal was ugly, but it held 12.5, snapped right back today. So those of you guys who are saying, what's wrong with SRNE? How about a stock that went from 8 and change to 14 and change that quickly? It was due for a little respite, but it held support. And what I'm going to need to see is can it get up through 14.20. Once that occurs, I'm looking for 15.5, 16.75, and beyond, maybe even as high as high teens. SUNE, well, the solar grew back there well today. This one wasn't up much, but it's pushing key resistance at the 24.35 area. Reaches high as 24.47 and closes at 24.46, a penny off the high. It just feels like the stock wants to go further. My next target's going to be 25.75 and then 28.75. TSEM continues its beautiful trend of the last year and a half, and actually accelerating it as the angle appears to be there and there. My target now is 20. Lastly, ZIOP, which popped back from 13.12 to close at 13.71, up 48 cents, appears to be trying to come out of the consolidation that it's been in for the last 6-7 days. And we break out above this high, 14.25.27. You can see this run maybe at 18, 19, 20 zone, and that's what I'll be looking for ZIOP. What a fantastic run up, and yet it doesn't look like it's done yet. This is HB signing off. Have a good evening, and I'll talk to you in the trading room tomorrow.